And down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, Daybreak, we have our red Protoss player from MVP. Not from Twilight, thankfully, but he is a vampire. And his opponent in the upper right-hand corner from Team Liquid, winner of game number 1. In very interesting fashion, it is their ace, TaeJa.
That's right. This is Daybreak. Place dreams are made. If we do map
And
intros
broken.
like they have, and broken. But if we do intro things like the GSL has for their maps, for this map, we should do Kermit the Frog singing Rainbow Connection. That's what we should go for, I think.
I have a prediction for this game just based on the name of the map. It's Daybreak,
Okay.
and he's a vampire. This doesn't
That's
work.
right.
Like,
This isn't going to go well for Vampire at all.
This doesn't make sense.
I forgot about this.
If this was like Dusk Break or something
I
like
know,
that,
or
good.
Night Break.
He's in his element.
Why
but
would
Daybreak?
Vampire pick Daybreak?
It's just silly.
You know, oh, that means he's one of those Twilight vampires where all he does is just like sparkle in the daylight. It
Just
doesn't actually
glitters a
kill
little
him.
bit.
It's not a real vampire.
I'm disappointed.
He's just one of those hipster vampires.
Yeah.
Oh. not, I don't even mean like a vampire that was a vampire before being a vampire was cool. I just mean like a vampire that
Wears tight pants
like
and
shops at Hollister or something.
listens to
I don't know.
obscure post-rock. And
That's
Anyway.
right.
okay, well,
I'm really
here.
into Passion Pit, man.
Well, TaeJa's going for gas again. No 1x gasless fast expand out of him. And he's already set up for a quick add-on, as we can see with the barracks here. So maybe a Reaper expand. We'll find out what his opponent is going to do, though. Vampire, pretty normal stuff for now. Wouldn't expect anything other than some sort of a 1-gate expand.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Looks like it's going to be potentially a Reaper expand out of TaeJa, though, judging from the position of that barracks. We're going to see a tech lab right about now. There it is. And oh no, the probe is trapped.
Whatever will he do?
He will just look around the base a little bit and eventually die.
Yeah,
That's it.
sad stuff.
Those SCV's drills are going to be like tiny wooden stakes in that vampire probe's heart.
Oh, God. Get the garlic, folks. These aren't ending. These puns aren't ending.
Yep, that's right. Was that really a pun?
Yeah.
Or was that just a bad joke?
This is not really
it's hard
a
to
pun,
tell sometimes.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You know, I mean, Vampire will be able to get a good look at things. I mean, I think he kind of knows what's going on anyway. He's like, all right, pretty obviously going to be a Reaper expand. But there's always the outside chance that TaeJa will throw down more barracks and make it just like a crazy build too. But 99.999% sure that it's going to be a command center here in a second.
Well,
and there it is.
Yeah.
Command center started right about now. There.
Yep, there it is. Not hiding anything from Vampire, obviously. Knows
no
exactly what he's up to. Yeah, he's just going to get by on the strength of his build here. Vampire is constructing 1 Stalker for now, and then maybe saving up some resources here, getting ready for an expansion. Yeah, there's 400, and there's a Nexus.
Yep. Did you ever watch that vampire movie Daybreakers?
I have not.
With, I can't remember his name, the guy who played Dr. Grant in Jurassic Park.
Oh, God. I know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
okay,
Yes.
well,
So
anyway.
we can go on with. Yes.
I don't know. It just reminded me of that movie.
Oh.
But
Daybreakers. Well, hey,
It
that
was
actually
pretty good.
works
William
then. So
Dafoe's in
maybe
that, too.
maybe he's in his element then.
well, it's
or do the vampires all die?
yeah, they do.
Oh, well,
yeah,
crap.
it's still not good for vampires. Nothing about Daybreak is ever just good for vampires. So, Vampire, as we said, being very bold about his map choice,
And
just from his name perspective, anyway. +1 weapons really quickly on the way for TaeJa. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to see some pretty quick aggression. Yeah, there's the 3rd barracks going down. Will there be a 4th? Got a feeling it's probably just going to be a 3rd with just kind of a quick push towards medevacs and then a little 2 medevac +1 stim timing push. Although he might be able to fit combat shields in there as well, but he wouldn't be able to do that and medevacs at the same time, I don't think.
if he's prioritizing upgrades as much as I think he is, though, he may decide to even start slapping down add-ons. Yeah, that was about to say, and then get that before he starts moving into the medevacs that we were talking about before.
You know, it used to be really popular to do a push with Marines and Marauders without medevacs and just upgrades. That's something that you don't see very often in TVP anymore. But it may be something that would actually do a really good job of surprising Vampire, actually. He might not be expecting something like that. He's going for very quick +1 armor as well. Interesting. He went Forge after Gateway, which is something that Protoss has been playing around with. So this could potentially be a Charge Lot Archon build out of Vampire. That's usually the common progression here. We've got the Robo-Bay just because you need the observers out, obviously, to see what your opponent is up to. But I would not be surprised one bit to see a Twilight Council come down here in the very near future.
And the way he's already banking gas with gas 3 and 4 on the way right now, I certainly think you're right. He could completely switch over and do some sort of a Colossus build after this, but I really do think you're right. So, well, double reactors up now, so TaeJa going to go for mostly Marines, and, you know, that Charge Light Archon has been a way to punish this. A lot of Terran players have been going for just powering out a good number of Marines earlier before they end up moving into Marauders in a more varied bio composition as the game wears along. And Storm AoE from Archons, that all does pretty well against Marines.
Yeah, not bad, especially without a lot of metavacs. It looks like TaeJa will be waiting for his metavacs, though, too, so he'll be in pretty good shape to finally move out and do something like that. And it is going to be a robotics bay from Vampire. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if I've ever actually seen the +1 armor going into Colossus tech out of a Protoss yet. This is kind of a cool way to do this, this Forge-centric expand out of our Protoss players. So I can't wait to see how he takes this into the next stage. And there's the Twilight Council, though, too. So it is going to be, like, Charge Lot Colossus, maybe? Or he could just be going for Warp Prism speed, too. But either way, Vampire doing a little bit of an unorthodox strategy here against Liquid TaeJa.
And we saw in the match of Prime versus EG, we actually saw Creator fake it Colossi as well and decide to go up to a third base and then move into a huge number of Archons after that with Charge. So we'll certainly see what we get. There is one Colossus on the way. Colossi certainly always good as well. Just the threat of a tech switch is certainly effective. So this is all still cool stuff. We'll see what TaeJa does in response.
Yeah, now there's also kind of a 1-1 push you can do with like 2 or 3 Colossi, but he's not getting Thermal Lance quite yet.
There's Charge.
Yeah, there's Charge. Okay.
This may be that fake.
Well, that is a little bit strange. The reason why you don't see a lot of people going for Charge and Colossi is because in that situation, it's kind of easy for your Zealots to get pulled away from the rest of your army, and then Terran can kind of pick it apart piece by piece. So generally, you don't see those two things kind of combined lately in PvT. But it could still work. We'll have to see what happens here. TaeJa, though, deciding to go for a drop. He's playing very standard, just bio, upgrades, metavacs, lots of barracks. Probably going to see a fairly quick third in the near future as well. The question is, will Vampire be ready for this drop? Oh, he did see it coming on the minimap. Yep, he did see it with that Observer.
And starting to bring back one Stalker, but he needs the rest of his units very, very quickly. It looks like that's enough to scare TaeJa away for the time being. So not too much damage going to be done. And the trap has been set. We'll see if TaeJa bites on this. He sees the first Colossus and immediately starts with his Viking production. So now is the time when you would normally see that Templar Archives be thrown down. And there it is.
Yep. Yeah, it will be that fake from Vampire. Oh, man. Protoss players are so tricky.
I love it, though.
In PvT. It's pretty cool to see.
Secretly inside, even though I love TaeJa, I'm like, this is so cool.
Isn't it neat?
Yeah.
It's neat. It's a good example for Protoss players, too, of just ways you can kind of mess with Terran in the mid-game. And so, yeah, Protoss players out there that are struggling maybe a little bit in PvT, take note of what Vampire is doing. It's a cool thing to emulate.
And the coolest part is that all your infrastructure is in place as well, that once you start going towards the late game, switch right back to Colossi. You've already got everything in place. Just research extended thermal lance and produce an extra robotic facility or two.
Yep. Oh, big-time drop coming in right now, and there's nothing in place to scout this. He's got the factory going in right now to make sure that everything is safe, and I think he's going to change his mind with this drop. Yeah, it's a lot of Stalkers sitting there.
Now, what did that factory see? Did not get close enough to the Templar Archives. Yeah, and this is just way too many forces for TaeJa to deal with at the moment.
He's thinking about it. He wants to do damage, and there's no third base to kind of go after and try to deny. He's checking for it again right now. But I think TaeJa's just going to need to be patient. He's going to need to take his third and just kind of be ready, you know?
All right. Well, this Marine does pick up on the third, which is very, very nice.
Yep.
The Zealot actually could have torn after that, but that's
okay. He ran too fast.
Yeah.
The Zealot didn't have very good cardio.
That's all right.
It's like, this charge took a lot out of me, man.
It's a lot like me. Fast and short distances, and once you get over about 100 yards, you're done.
There you go. Oh, Observer sees things, but will TaeJa see the Observer? Nope. It's not.
That's a lot of Vikings and not that many medevacs. There goes, and he catches it. But, yeah, as we can see, huge number of charge lots, 3 Archons on the way, and that's quite a bit of AoE damage that's directly going to counter the Vikings that are in the air.
Yeah, Vampire is not in a bad spot at all right now, and he sees the composition. He sees, all right, you made pretty much just enough Vikings as you should, and even though TaeJa is still making some Vikings, he's not just committing to it completely. Oh, man, yeah, TaeJa needs to make a run for it. He cannot engage that army.
No, but
better to wait for ghosts.
TaeJa's not in the worst spot either, though. I mean, he does have a very nice infrastructure. He's producing a lot of units, now moving into ghosts as well, as Mobius Reactor is going to be finishing up. So they're going to have plenty of energy for EMP, and he's going to be able to sit down the base basically at the same time that Vampire gets his up and running. So both players are on pretty even economy and looking pretty good. Upgrades pretty good for both these guys as well.
Yep. Not too bad. Both players just doing a lot of this almost kind of looks like an older school TVP like we used to see a couple months ago, where players just kind of positioned for most of the game and didn't really fight until they got maxed out, you know? Terran was looking for opportunities to deny the third, Protoss looking for opportunities to deny the third of their opponent while keeping their third safe as well. Just kind of a big-time positioning game. And we may see that coming to an end, though. Both players getting closer to engaging here.
That is certainly right. 3-3 upgrades on Extended Thermal Lance now on the way for Vampire. And we've seen this out of Terran players a lot lately as well. We see the Ghost production started for TaeJa, but we've actually been seeing players that basically do nothing but save their last like 20 supply or 30 supply for all Ghosts. And a huge Ghost count has actually proven to be a turning point in a lot of matchups recently.
Yeah, having a good Ghost count is essential, I think, in the late game in a lot of occasions, especially if your opponent does kind of switch things up a little bit. So the EMPs could end up making the difference. We'll see. Cloak on the way as well, so he's going to be able to get in a good position with those Ghosts once the Cloak upgrade is finished. Storm actually not started until right now by Vampire. A little bit later than I would have expected, but he has been using these High Templar as Archons for now. And, okay, what's TaeJa doing? He just stimmed like everything.
And stimmed some of those twice as well.
So what is he doing?
What is he looking to catch? I'm not sure, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he thought maybe his opponent was trying to take a fourth there or something. He scans to double-check the army is there, but that was a little bit odd.
Yeah, so that's going to use up quite a bit of energy on the Medivacs. They do have pretty much full energy anyway, so he is really paranoid about something at the moment. So we'll find out what that's going to be here. +1 shields now on the way for Vampire. Okay, I was about to say I'm surprised he hasn't taken a fourth base yet, but there it is. TaeJa's was started as well, and he's going to start a fifth at the same time. So, we are just playing towards the super late game, but Vampire thinking about rolling in now. There's a full stim out of TaeJa.
That's right, he's looking for a position, but that is not really the best one to engage in. He needs to split his forces a little bit. He wants Vampire to come to him so he can get a nice big concave. And he's going all the way back up his ramp, too. All right, he's going to try to defend that third base, but here comes Vampire.
Yeah, exposes him just a little bit. A couple of these command centers, they're going to soak up some shots, but they'll have to be canceled in a second. TaeJa really can't get a lot of good positioning. All these are tight running paths, and the AoE from Colossi, Archons, and Storm will be able to pretty easily take out those Bioforces. So TaeJa not fighting there. Good decision out of him. Vampire, surprised he didn't try and press and deny those command centers a little bit more.
Well, both of these guys just playing so careful right now. Neither one wanting to engage unless it's absolutely perfect. And I mean, why not? Why would you ever want to fight just because you hadn't fought in a while? You know, make sure that you wait and you can attack on your terms. On a map like Daybreak, though, it's kind of hard to get that to happen. I mean, there's so many relatively narrow running lanes that you're going to see a lot of this. You know, players moving forward and backing up. Oh, good snipe on that High Templar.
And gets the Observer floating overhead as well. So TaeJa.
Oh, wow, he almost gets the second one.
Yeah, and
one hit point.
Even one hit point is going to be enough to launch a Storm here in a second.
Very true. TaeJa thinking about moving in here. He scans to find where the army is. Sees it, decides to pull back a little bit. +1 weapons is almost done for his ships as well. That'll help him take out those Colossi very, very quickly.
I mean, 2 Colossi and 7 Vikings, that's pretty good. He'll be able to dispatch those very fast and then be able to reproduce ghosts whenever those do go down. So this is pretty good stuff.
Oh, man.
Vampire loses 1, 2, Templar, 3
of
that's
them. Huge.
And are there any left? Just 1.
And look at this, some EMPs going down as well. TaeJa thinking about moving in the concave. A little bit better for Vampire, but after getting those High Templar, TaeJa with so much DPS, no Storms, a Templar running right into the army, and this is looking pretty good for our Team Liquid Terran player.
Oh, TaeJa just annihilated that force. It wasn't even close, and Vampire is on the run now, falling back and may have to give up his 4th, which it looks like he is.
Yep, that's what you get for being a Vampire on Daybreak.
Oh, we knew it was coming back.
I know, man. It's just proven. We suspected this when the game started.
I made my prediction, so.
That's right.
All right.
Oh, this is not looking good for Vampire. He's still got a decent army, but He lost that Nexus now, down to just one mining base.
Oh my god, TaeJa is so good at the moment. Vampire losing the last couple of forces there, going to try and swing out around the side, but he doesn't have enough for Storm. Not much AoE in this army, and single target DPS of all these forces. Oh, gets a kill on the base, not even a cancel.
Oh man, it's not a good day to be a High Templar.
Nope, those Colossi are just like, nope, nope, running back home.
You go do it, High Templar. All your kind of died this game anyway. Yep, there you go.
Yes. I don't know if a Storm has been launched yet so far.
It has not. I don't think I saw a single one. Vampire just does not like his High Templar this game, I guess. The Colossi are dead as well. Counterattack at the third base of TaeJa, but he's just so far ahead right now. I mean, even though he will have to give up this third base, I think TaeJa's still going to be in a pretty good spot overall.
Yeah, he's still got plenty of forces back here to defend. He just needs to hold off. He's already annihilating his opponent's production. There's GG, and TaeJa has put Liquid up 2-0.
Oh, wow. Here's Liquid indeed. But you know what? The thing is,